Welcome to the Lachlan's live show today. Budget. It's all about the budget all over the paper. I was talking about it earlier on actually. I'm not sure how to dissect how to get around this. I have papers open here, the usual papers. It just says live budget, question and answers. That's the thing there that's on that. Just will the help to buy scheme be extended to first time buyers? Just things there, and the weekly rate, the social welfare rate, the minimum wage is due to increase from 11.30 to 12.70, I see. And then will there be a reduction in public transport? It says the minister announced a number of measures to respect, including a contribution of the temporary 20% fare reduction, the extension of eligibility criteria for young adult cards. He also commitment to look at further public transport affordable measures. So in addition to the social welfare, which has been increased by 12, I thought it would have been 15. I said that earlier on, so, but it's not. So that's the rate then on that, and that's on the Irish Independent. That there is, as I was saying, not as much came out of the budget as they were hoping for to people less well off. It just says here the latest then on the Irish Independent News on the budget. It just says energy credits of 450 across three installments. Now I don't know different periods of time they'll be played. And rent is credited up to 750, and parents of students can avail temporary mortgage interest tax relief worth up to 1,250, and half price public transport by for under 25s. All social welfare rates to rise by 12, and cost of cigarettes to rise by 70 75 cent overnight. Uh, Minister McGrath has announced a budget package which includes up to 800 in tax breaks for workers. Renters are also in line for further credits while there will be mortgage relief. The minister said inflation and interest rate increase have a major bearing on the budget measure. The total package is 14 billion. Mr. McGrath said, "Here, the Irishman will Independent will give you a detailed breakdown, which it'll be on after. I'm sure there'll be, and then a 400 lump sum in of the work and family payment, and then also in disability allowance, energy credit 450, 150 between the end of the year and the next of April. Double child benefit, Christmas bonus of social welfare payments, which that is a big help there for people there. One-off payment 400 to be made before Christmas in receipt of careless allowance or disability. That's the rate there I was talking about. Temporary application of local authority affordance scheme will not be able to avail of help to buy. And then I don't know, did he give anything to film? Someone was saying there, did he give a grant? There might have been something there, but I can't see it here. And if I read down on the small writing, the health services to get an extra 500 million next year, but the size of its budget bailout for this year is still not settled. So that's the main aspect of the budget. But as I'm saying, I asked that question: will it help people? That'll be interesting. There, will it really get budget a step change in planning for future? This is what Mr. McGrath said there when he was on the floor. This is at a glance. Here are the key points, and relief for some mortgage holders confirmed in budget, as I was saying there earlier on. Um, childcare, that's as well. There's an article there about childcare and the key points in the budget. So I think I went through all them points there, and URC concession for some medical card holders. So that's the main aspect then of the budget. And I don't know is any just then on the news, then the latest thing on the news. Israel pounds Gaza with airstrikes as death toll rise. I see it's getting worse in Israel. The latest there, Israel had pounded Gaza with the fiercest airstrikes in a 75-year conflict. Across the Berlin Wall surrounded the strip, Israel soldiers were connected. fast of the dead 4 days after Hamas gunmen rampaged through towns in by far the deadliest attack in Israel history. It's still going on, that terrible war. And then more of the same. Holly Willoughby to leave the morning after 14 years. That's the news then on the entertainment. Budget has failed on housing crisis, says Sinn Féin minister. And prices on petrol and diesel to increase by midnight. There's no change there. They've increased by more. It's bad enough as at the moment. If you're driving a car, it's getting worse all the time. And leaders vow to help Israel defend itself. That's President Michael D. Higgins calls for end to violence in Israel and Gaza. I wouldn't. I think that's a fair point there, and that's then all the news then on the Irish Times, and then on the Irish. I mean on the Irish Independent. That's the latest then on that. I did have the Irish Times open there actually. The latest then on that. It just says legal challenge to Trouble Legacy Act to be heard over 5 days in November. British High Court receives 20 applications for judicial review from troubled victims, and tarnished humanitarian aid to the Palestinian people must contain. And some schools use restorative justice to deal with past abuse. Why not others? That's an article then that's on the paper. Motorcyclist 50 killed in Westmeath collision. There's more accidents than anything else. It's terrible there. The amount of people that are dying in accidents. One-off payment to household play, starting rolling digit, but for how long? And that's the and then another article about the budget and defence. Farmer loses over medical appeal. That's then on that. I'm just going to go through then the latest on the sports news. Uh, the latest then on the World Cup. Is anything else? I see Wayne Barnes to referee Ireland World Cup. He's a well experienced referee. I think he's from England, so he's to referee Ireland and New Zealand. Keith Earls, I don't think Joe would know anything about this squad. And Caelan Doris says Ireland's belief based on more than a serious win in New Zealand. And then Jerry Thornley, Jerry Thornley, panoramic shift shows Ireland are in all blacks' heads like never before. The article then he writes, he's also on the radio and he makes great points on the radio, see. And just more about the World Cup there. And then Ireland are playing in soccer. Oh, there's more then about soccer there. They don't have a chance in the soccer. I mean, the qualifying now, it's really over, isn't it? That's the latest then on the soccer. I was just going to get that table up then. The matches there. I'll look at the way. Focus, Ferguson fit to resume. He's fit to resume for Ireland. Evans Ferguson confirmed that he's fully fit for Ireland's upcoming doubleheader against Greece and Gibraltar. Brighton Young missed out on Ireland's last international, which seems as Kenny's side were beaten 2-0. And then more than about I was going to give you a preview of the matches there. There's a good few matches there in the European Championship, but the one that we're looking at is Ireland and Greece, and that's in Lansdowne. So it's hard to predict that match really. And going in form, Ireland should win, but nothing is certain. Greece aren't bad either, so I'm not sure that result. That's on Friday at 7:45, and then Ireland's next match is, I think it's on Monday, is it? I'm not sure now. It's coming up anyway. It could be Tuesday either. Let me see. The next match, I'm not sure. It is coming up anyway. The next match is Gibraltar. That's Ireland Gibraltar. That's on a Monday actually, Monday the 16th, and it's on 7:45, and that's played away. So this should be Gibraltar, but I'm not going to say yeah or no. But that's the fact. And then the match then that's on the next day, the very special match Ireland New Zealand. Everyone will be looking at that match then. Everyone will be listening with that match with content. And if I was a betting man, I just hoped Ireland win, and I'm not going to put anything on it as I was saying. they have a good chance of winning, and I just hope that they do and make it to the semi-final. But New Zealand are looking for revenge, and they're looking to beat Ireland at the very best. So that's the match. And then in the Wicklow matches, Ratnew on the last day, Ratnew they were playing Tinahely, which was a good match, very competitive. And then in the other match, it was AGM and Blessington, and that was a good match as well. So it's Blessington and Ratnew in the final, and that's played in the it's not this week, it's the following week. And then in the hurling match that's on Sunday, it's Bray versus Harnew. And that'd be an interesting enough match. I don't know who's going to win that, but I just hope Bray, they can make it five in a row. They've gone for five in a row and they have a good record. So I just thought I'd mention that anyway. Christy Morehouse, Padraig, the usual players, Padraig Doyle and all the other players. And then Carnew have a fairly good competitive team and they'd be competitive enough, I'd say. And that's my view on that match. I think Bray will win it, and they're playing in the intermediate as well. I think Bray could win that as well, but it might be closer. So I'm not sure of that. So that's that sport. And then it's international matches, which I said there, that's played this weekend. And I'll come back to them. I just thought I'd make a special here about the budget if there's any more news then. And the Gaelic game then, the draw's coming up. I think it's the following weekend, the draw for the championship in the Gaelic football. And now it's just gonna go to the Sky News. It just says more about the Israel Hamas war. Rockets launched toward Ashkelon in Israel. It's getting out of hand, according to breaking news. Smoke rises from the city after Hamas threat. Hundreds gather for funeral of Hamas member killed in Israel strike. And that's the latest on that news. And then we stand in solidarity with Israel. That's the Prime Minister of England. He is make a statement there on the news. That's the latest breaking news. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has made a statement there about the thing that happened in Israel, and then hostage should try to remain positive, according to this man. That's about the hostage there. That's the news then. It's all I'm just looking at the news here online. That's the latest then on the and then on the world news, it's more about the Israel man. Smoke rises from Israel city after Hamas warned residents to leave as IDF says its offensive won't be clean. And suspected attack on gas pipeline of NATO member Finland. Russia makes nuclear test claim. Ukraine's latest. And rockets fired towards Ashkelon as 1,000 people now confirmed dead in Israel after Hamas attack. And that's all. That's what the news is about there today about the Israel match, the Israel thing. And then I'll just go to the politics. Groups claim responsibility for Stammer glitter protests as MPs voice security fears. Politica's latest. Keir Starmer makes pitch to Tory voters looking at horror at decent of party. That's the latest on the English news. Aid shed tears of relief as Starmer shrugs off glitter protests to deliver speech of his life. As I'm saying, he's looking to get in and he's looking to beat the government there on the Sky News. And that is the latest down on that. And then the Coming Soon website, more about Tom Sizemal's latest, his last minute film before he died. More about that on that. The Marvel's video teases titular team's chemistry. There's an exclusive of the league clip previews the NNL baseball documentary. That's a documentary about the baseball league, and it's coming there. And then the Colour Purple trailer teases new look at beloved classic. That's based on the new The Colour Purple, the musical film adaptation of Alice Walk's novel, arrives in theatres on December the 25th. Nothing is stronger than sisterhood, so that is the latest then. That's on Coming Soon website. It's just the latest on the films, and everyone likes to hear about Michael Mann announces Heat 2 as his next movie could star Adam Driver. He's seemingly making Heat 2, and that's the latest. And Michael Mann has confirmed his next movie after Ferrari will Heat 2, and it may star Adam Driver. Nothing is certain there. It's not definite, and I can't tell you it's certain. But that's the latest then on that. On that, I'm well into this podcast so here today, and then on the latest, then on the RT, I'll just go back before I make that the latest on the budget. There's nothing more. Just says opposition react to budget measures. They're giving us think about the budget. They're saying there's nothing in it. All the opposition parties are saying that, and they say the same thing every year. There's nothing different. Household workers and motorists benefit in budget. That's another article there. It just says about a cut to the universal charge. Minister for Michael Cra and Minister for Public Expenditure, Patrick O'Donoghue, have outlined the budget in full. Further cuts in childcare, carbon tax will increase by midnight. The price of a pack of cigarettes will also go up, which I was saying earlier on. Minister McGrath announced the introduction of a 1 year mortgage interest rate. Those eligible to apply will have an outstanding mortgage balance. Relief will be available on the increased interest paid on the mortgage. The relief will be capped at 1,200 per property. So meanwhile, the renters credit is set to rise in 750. That is the latest then on Michael McGrath's budget, and I didn't. You'll have to buy the paper to check that out. The budget might be small writing in it, and it's hard to take it all in at first. What's in the budget and what's not. So I just thought I'd go over it anyway in a cone, uh, go over it the best I can, and then that's the latest then on the budget, which I'm looking at on now here. And I hope you enjoyed my podcast today. It's really about the budget, isn't it? Beyond the news, beyond everything. So I give you a little bit about sport as well, and a bit about Sky News. So I just thought I'd come back with a podcast, and thanks for listening. And I'll come back with another. I'm coming back with another Brave People News. That's the latest installment. That's coming pretty soon. So I hope you enjoyed my podcast today, and goodbye. And thanks for listening.